As you stand in your now, begin in a general place of well-being that you don't have to reach hard to find. In other words, it's a place that you already know. So you would say something like, for the most part, I know that well-being exists upon this planet. If I could chart all of the people who have lived over the last 1,000 years and somehow make a little tick mark for every hour they lived in wellness, and then I could chart all of the people who have lived over the last 1,000 years, and I could make a little tick mark for any hour that they lived in sickness. As I compare the two, I would discover that well-being is so dominant that not well-being is hardly a ripple in those statistics. As I behold this planet spinning in its orbit in perfect proximity to other planets, isn't that remarkable? Aren't you just amazed at the stability of this mass? When I think about the tomato that I eat for lunch today, and I realize that its ancestors have been present on the planet for eons, and somehow, even though my garden sort of comes and goes, the Earth's garden remains constant. In other words, there is never a time when all of the seeds are gone. The seas remain full. The air recycles and remains pure. In other words, the abundance of well-being is remarkable. Isn't it interesting? My own body started out as a little blob that if you looked on a microscope you could not even see. And somehow that cell, those cells, had knowledge within them that attracted life force that creates a human being of perfection. How does it know which will be the liver and which will be the lungs and which will be the tooth? Don't you find that amazing? Even as I lie in my bed at night, isn't it remarkable that I don't consciously keep my blood flowing, that somehow the cells of my body know what they're doing and the life force of well-being flows to them? The well-being is so enormous. Why do I ever seek out some little pocket of someone who, for whatever reason that I cannot begin to understand, has held themselves in a vibration that doesn't allow the well-being? Why would I ever look at that and amplify that and feel that now I must take the same position of pushing against? Well-being abounds. Now, as you listen to us here, your cork floats, doesn't it? In other words, you can feel you are vibrationally up to speed with who you really are. And having spent even that little bit of time, a minute or two or three, feeling the vibration that is in harmony with source energy, now next time you have a thought that's not a vibrational match with the energy of well-being, you're going to feel it. In other words, it will stick out like a sore thumb. And when it does, think about the Marshmallow Man. In other words, when it does, rather than going with it. Someone said to us the other day, Abraham, why is it that the negative thought seems so much bigger? What? She said, I know what I want, and yet I keep thinking about what I do not want. How is this? Why is the negative so much more dominant? And we say, it isn't. It's much less dominant. But what happens is, as you achieve vibrational harmony with it, then as that is the vibration that you are accustomed to offering, then that's the vibration that is shown to you everywhere you go. You get the sense of it? I want to give you a new phrase. I will set my own tone. I will set my own tone. In other words, if everything is about vibration, then why not feel around until my cork really floats and stay there 17 seconds, 34 seconds, 51 seconds, 68 seconds until I'm really in vibrational sync with that high, fast frequency, and then step out into my day. And once I've achieved my connection with my source energy, everywhere I go, I will set the tone. Do you know that one who is connected to core energy is more powerful than 1,000,000 who are not? And so as you set the tone, everywhere you go, you become unaffected by those who are vibrationally different from you. When you are in sync with core energy, a traffic accident cannot happen to you. You could not go to a place where an earthquake was about to happen, or a bomb was about to explode, or an airplane was about to go down. You could not find yourself there because vibrationally you are different from that. In other words, the two cannot come together. Not because you're guarded, and not because you've protected yourself well, and not because the government has put up the barricades, and not because those things that beep when you go through the airport are keeping you safe. None of that. But because you have set a vibrational tone, that means you only can gravitate to, and things only can gravitate to you that are a vibrational match to the well-being that is the signal that you are offering. You get the sense of this? Oh, it is so liberating. You see, as long as you believe that there are things out there like earthquakes or volcanoes or bombs or bad things that can get you, then you live a life of guardedness where you are retreating further and further and further into darker and more remote, isolated corners. And every step backward you take, the more you resent those that are out there that are driving you from your freedom. But when you discover it is about setting your tone, now you are liberated. Now you can go anywhere. Anywhere that is a vibrational match to who you really are. And as you move through your cities, as you move through your airports, as you move through your hotels, as you move, sounds like walking around with Jerry and Esther, doesn't it? As you are moving through life experience, only that which is in vibrational harmony with the well-being that you are now emitting can come to you.